Hey, what's going on, Olivia?
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are we doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I have
Oops.
no complaints. It's like 93 degrees here. That's the only bad part.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually outside. I mean, it feels nice, but I'm not in the sun, so I mean, that's the only reason why I'm out here. So,
What state are you calling me
this is Jacksonville, Florida. I'm a
from?
I'm a native resident here, so I've pretty much I've been here my whole life.
Ah, very cool. So what do you do full time? What do you do for a living?
So currently I mean, I am working full time. I'm a medical scribe at Flagler Hospital, which is just a local hospital down here. Um, and it's very honest work. It's hard work. But it's also something that can potentially be done by a computer. So that kind of eats at me sometimes. Um, and I know I add a personal touch to it. That's something maybe AI can't really contribute, but um, I do want, I know that the providing a creative and personal touch is just something that like I need to have in my career at some point. Like this is something I'm doing temporarily. Um, I do, I like the work. I like being in a medical setting. But I know that I could I could just do more as far as it comes to what I'm capable of doing. So
Yeah, 100%. Now, how long have you been there?
um I I've been there for about 8 months now. Sorry. I had a little bit of experience at a previous hospital. But I've been here longer than I've been there. So I mean I'm pretty familiar with it. It's not hard to get used to, but it's I haven't been there for years, but I've been there for long enough to like I know everyone there, and it's like it's a nice environment.
For sure. Cool. So I know that you said you can do more with yourself and you want to add
Mhm.
personal touches, but what else do you feel like online coaching is going to give you?
Right. So as far as it comes to online versus in-person training, when you're doing in person, you just have almost less flexibility. Um, and I know with my current schedule, I'm always willing to adjust, depending on where things go. I'm always willing to adjust the job that I'm currently working at full time. So that's never been an issue in my mind as far as it comes. Like I need to have this um, be only complementary to this job because I'm always willing to kind of adjust. But I think that the biggest thing that online coaching offers for me personally is the absolute like flexibility of it, and that's something I've always lacked in every other job. Um, and that's something that really appeals to me. And it's also the fact that it's something I'm super passionate about doing. Um, I appreciate learning about pretty much everything that has to do with fitness and nutrition and exercise science, things like that. Like there's nothing that you can tell me that I won't just like sit down and start listening to. Um, and I just absorb all that information so much. And I think it's something that I could really stick with, um, and something that I can build over time. Um, so I think that's like the biggest appeal to me as far as it comes to online training.
So it sounds like a large part is the flexibility and then something that actually gives you more fulfillment so we can actually have a sustainable long-term career and something that we really enjoy doing versus just clocking the hours, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been a 9 to 5 kind of gal. It's just not, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Now, outside of like helping people in the flexibility, what else do you think it'll give you? Are we looking for like more financial freedom, like able to travel more? I mean, that kind of ties in with the flexibility. Anything else?
Right, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to sound like pretty much everyone else, but I would absolutely love to have financial freedom. I would love to travel the world. That's amazing. But I understand that a lot of hard work and dedication comes before that. So I try to focus on the now, like what can I be doing right now that will help me fast track that. Um, and I think that's probably a good trait to have, but sometimes it can be a deficit because I focus on only the now and I can't see any possibility in the future, which kind of just, it just a lot of stress. And then I may just like get too overwhelmed. And that has happened in the past. But the thing that's different with this is that I've just never been so passionate about something. So, like if I have a drawback, which I know I will, I'm just going to take a step back and look at it like why am I doing this? Like because it's something that I love so much. And I think that it's really important if you make something you love your career to remember your why and like why you love doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Now, with you having a medical background, I know that you also mentioned that you're very passionate about like fitness related things. Do you have any additional certs, or have you ever tried any in-person training, anything like that?
Yeah, as far as it comes to like in-person training, I don't have much of that. I'm trying to, I would love to do that. I would be open to any of possible things. I'm not exactly sure what to do. I think that's the reason I haven't done that. But I'm personally, I've done online like ISSA, CPT. I've done that. Um, and I believe that the course that I had, it also offered like nutrition and strength and conditioning certifications. So I did get those as well. I believe, I think it's the NCCPT, but it's like the actual exam that you go in person to take. I'm planning on doing that soon. I just haven't had a lot of time. That's kind of a poor excuse, but I do plan on doing it in the next month. So
Yeah, I love that. So if you love where you're currently at, right, and we can actually make this to where it starts off maybe it's just a second source of income, but eventually becomes more of the full-time thing. Is that what we're looking to do?
yeah, absolutely. Again, I really do not mind quitting my 9 to 5. If it ever comes to that, you know what I mean? I love the people there. I enjoy the work that I do, but I know that this would just fulfill me to a point that like I've never been at with my career. So, I mean, it's something that I would not never sacrifice if I was given the opportunity.
I love that. Now, to give you some context behind it, because I was an in-person trainer for over 15 years. Okay. So
Wow.
in-person training is dope and it's great for relationship building,
Right.
but it takes a lot of your time, like a lot of your time. So you're sitting at a gym. So I'm old, so it took me a long time to adapt to the new ways. And eventually when I did it, I was like, oh man, like I've got a lot more flexibility, right? A lot
Right.
more time to be present in my kids' lives and doing
Oh,
the
that's
things
awesome.
that I want to do as well.
Right.
So as you're kind of trying to navigate what you really want to do, if this will take off a lot faster, if we can dictate a lot more time to it, because you're
Yeah.
in person, it can kind of do two things for you. One, if you decide to be like a hybrid trainer, which means doing in person and online, I would recommend you only having maybe 5 to 10 high ticket clients that you love training in person, because obviously you can charge more. But then the rest of the time, you're really focusing on your online platform, right?
Absolutely.
Um, so to kind of give you some context behind that, industry averages for online training is anywhere between 250 on the very low end up to 500 per month on the upper end. Okay. So you have multiple certification, which is great. You have a medical background, which is awesome. So
Mhm.
let's just pretend you're feeling really confident, really comfortable with yourself, and you're charging more on that upper end of like say $400. Okay.
Mhm.
So if you had 25 clients in totality and their average price point was $400, there goes your 10K a month right there. That's 120K a year, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
now we're able to do some things and that opens up a lot more flexibility, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Now, with being said, and now that you know the industry averages, where would you like to see yourself like make long term? Like where would we like to see ourselves best case scenario?
Um, See, I've seen some things online where it's like you can make upwards of 10, 20, even 30K a month. And to me, like that seems insane. Um, I would honestly be happy making like, if we're being realistic, I would be okay with like 5K a month um to start out with. And I'm honestly, I thrive when I'm working hard or when I'm like pushing myself in whatever I'm doing. So if that means that, like if I'm going to add more clients just because it's something that I want to do and I think I want to help more people and it just kind of aligns with what I'm doing and it ends up making me more money, then I think that it's almost like financial is absolutely extremely important, but um it's like it is and isn't as important. I do want to make anywhere between like 5 and 10K. That would be wonderful a month. But again, like I'm trying to be realistic, like something that um I could actually end up doing. Um and I don't think it has anything to do with my credibility or anything like that. It's almost just I'm not sure how I can attract that many clients, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because it's going to kind of tie in beautifully to the rest of our presentation where I'm going to like show you step by step on how
Okay.
you make this like a real thing, right? Because
Right.
you're right, you hear crazy stories, right? Started
Mhm.
off making 10K. I paid off my whole amount that I invested in one
Right.
month, right? So once you start seeing it and you see how many resources are available to get you to that point, you're like, oh, this is it. I want you to think of this as we go through it, kind of like a program, like when you went to school, right?
Okay.
If the teacher said it's an open book test, obviously, if you're smart, you would do it, even if you knew the answers, right?
Hmm.
But this is an open book test with the answers highlighted and circled in red for you. So
Oh,
if you don't get the answers right, we got problems, right?
right.
Right? Like it's
Yeah.
literally just following instructions. But the more important part of it is you're not dealing it on your own. You have a one-on-one coach the entire time. So you're always being guided, you're being redirected. We're pivoting, we're making the changes necessary. We're also helping with your mindset because
Right.
entrepreneurship, it's amazing and it's exciting, but it gets really overwhelming at times,
Oh yeah,
right?
for sure.
No matter how much money you make, you could be making seven figures. You're going to have days where you're doubting yourself like crazy, right? It's just
Right.
part of the process. Okay.
For sure.
Cool. So it sounds like to me, I love the fact that it sounds like for you, it's more like quality of life versus just the financial outcome, right? Again,
Right.
that flexibility, the sustainability, something that you can help others while doing something, while making money, doing something you truly love to do, right? That improves your
Absolutely.
quality of life. Love that. Cool. What do you feel like the biggest challenges outside of like, I read your notes that you filled out. So it sounded like marketing, lead generation, things of that nature are going to be your biggest bottlenecks. What else do you foresee being a big challenge as well?
Um, I think there are some things that I haven't quite, not necessarily given thought to, but I don't know if they're right for, I guess what I was saying is pricing is something that I think will be probably pretty difficult to come to a consensus with. Just based on, like, is it going to be in person? Probably not. But if it's online, um, is it for just the services that I offer? Meaning, like, if I am your personal trainer or if I'm your personal coach, then like, how much would I be charging you? It's almost like, how much should I charge a client and for how often, kind of thing. Like, if I'm their coach, would that just be a set amount, or would it be like if I were to, like, provide meal plans or to provide like workout plans, different things like that? I know it's kind of, it can be very broad, and there's a lot of things that can go into it. So I think that's also probably going to be a little bit of a challenge to just kind of whittle down a little bit more.
Yeah, we're in a great spot. So every concern that you have is pretty much a lot like everybody else, right? They have the
Okay,
same
right.
similar questions. The beautiful thing is your price points are going to be dependent upon what you're offering and based really largely upon your length of terms, right?
Okay,
So we'll actually help you kind of narrow down specifically like the ideal challenge that you solve. So what problem do you solve for individuals? And then
okay,
based upon that, what are we offering? Is it going to be, weekly check-ins? Is it going to be Loom recording? Is it going to be Zoom? All these things are going to be specific because the more that we do for individuals, the more that we offer, the higher the ticket offer, right? Which will be
right.
established upon your length of terms. So your length of terms will be kind of different, and we'll teach you that as well. So this is really good. I'm glad that we're here.
Okay.
As far as the next 4 to 6 months, how would you like to see yourself or your life differ from where it's currently at?
Primarily a sense of, I'd like to overall just be happier with where I'm at as far as it comes to my career. And I think that with that kind of means a little bit more flexibility. And it's funny because even if I'm like doubling down on my computer and figuring out things to do for clients, and I've accumulated all these clients and I have a lot of work to do, that is still largely so much more flexibility and freedom than having to go to work and then I'm there for like 10 to 12 hours a day, and there's not a lot I can necessarily do. And I'm passionate about helping others, but I think that I can tailor that a little bit more to my expertise, which is as far as it comes to fitness and nutrition and just overall wellness. So I think I could really provide a lot of help for other people. And I think that I would just be more passionate in my career, and I would hopefully just feel more positive about the way that my career was going. And ideally, hopefully, if it's part-time still, um, just making some money on the side, that would be wonderful. And if it's full-time, that means making more money than I'm making at my current job. And that's amazing.
I love that. So it sounds like if you do this or you follow through with your goals and your ambitions and take action based upon where you want to be aligned with,
Mhm.
you're kind of fulfilling your purpose versus just
Absolutely.
kind of living, just kind of like existing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Now, where are we at currently a monthly? Or what are we making a month right now?
So right now, it's it's a little confusing for like daily shifts. It's 17 an hour, and then it's a $2 like extra an hour when you work overnight, and I work primarily overnights.
Okay.
So um so I would say like anywhere from like 17 to $19 an hour. Um and that's for me livable at the moment.
Okay.
It's I definitely could be better, but I think financial freedom is something that I really, really would want to achieve at some point.
Sure.
Just because, I do kind of live paycheck to paycheck, being completely honest. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people um, probably might say the same thing. And even if they don't, like, they want to change for a reason, and that's one of my reasons. Um, I'm capable of doing that. I would like to, instead of just kind of surviving, I'd like to live. I want to have that
100%.
extra money that I can save and put away for even if it's for experiences that I can do in the future, or for like kids I want to have in the future, things like that, and those are important things.
I
Um,
love that. Your quote was very impactful. Like, I want to live, I don't want to survive.
yeah, for
Right.
sure.
So where we're at, like, how long do you feel like you've been in that position where you're paycheck to paycheck?
Um, Probably ever since I worked. I know
Yeah.
it also sounds rough, but and I think it's also, I don't want it to sound like I don't put in the work, because I do. It's just it can be hard. It can be hard to find. I've worked two jobs at once. I've worked myself to death like at one job, just like, doubles back to back, things like that. Um and I know like that allows you to have more money, but there's something else that I kind of value, and it's, you want to provide more oh, what's the word? I guess you just want to provide more value to the work that you're doing over the amount of time that you put into it. Because
100%.
yeah, I believe I saw, or I was listening to a podcast or something. It was basically saying that, and they used my job as an example, and I was like, oof. It was like, that's rough. And it was basically a study where they took a medical scribe, a hypothetical medical scribe, and they said, we have someone that can do your job, or we have AI that can do your job exactly how you do it, no flaws, no differences at all. And you'll get paid if you just stay at home and do nothing. Or you can come in and you can do that work and you'll still get paid the same amount. And it talked about the morality of it. And it's like, how do people view the person who comes in or the person who stays home? Because you're getting paid the same amount.
Right.
And it's almost like a lot of people can, like, workaholism is kind of valued over the actual value of the work most of the time. Because people would often see the person that went in and still did the work as like more moral. But in the end, it's almost like, well, it's doing the same work for you. You know what I mean? I know
Right.
that might not make very much sense, but it's kind of like, I want to provide as much as I possibly can, but I don't want to work myself to death. I guess, if that makes sense. But
Yeah. So you hit it on the head. And that's why a lot of other countries have different work shifts. Like if you go to European countries, or I was in Costa Rica, and the value of work is completely different, right? It's like
right.
shorter work hours. They don't work on specific days. Like in America, really the only day that you don't work is Sunday. We glamorize the hustle, the grind, right?
Yes,
But the
exactly.
hustle and grind actually lead to higher stress levels, which puts us in a grave years ahead of time, right? So
Right.
it sounds like to me, you also want to be seen for who you really are, not just for the work that you do, right? So you want to be
Yes.
able to
I'm
get paid
sorry. I was trying to put it into words. That was it. You said it.
100%. So like we want to do something that's going to be impactful, but where we're actually seen for our efforts versus the title that we carry, right?
Right.
Beautiful. Now, I think I have this kind of down clear, but as far as you're needing, you wanted like a strategic game plan that covers, marketing, lead generation, some guidance, some accountability, someone to make sure that we're giving you the right directions at the right time. Is that correct?
Right, correct.
Beautiful. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over a very brief, high level of what we offer, but then we're going to deep dive into the modules. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Okay, got it.
Cool. So as you know, we're the Next Level Coaching Academy. This is a pretty big deal. We're accredited through the Better Business Bureau. We got a rating of an A and a possible A plus. Majority of other companies do not have this. We're also backed by 3 of the largest certification companies in the world, ACE, NASM, and ISSA, which for you have ISSA. So this will be continuing education credits for you as well.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. This is also a tax write-off. So this benefits you.
Nice.
Now that we have two tiers on the success ladder. We have the 10K accelerator, we've got mastery level. Now 10K accelerator is going to be very ideal for an individual such as yourself. Has multiple certifications. They're looking to transition from their 9 to 5 and become more of an online coach. The information this course can get us from 0 up to 10K per month in as little as 4 months, if so desired. Okay. Now, mastery levels for individuals who have already been coaching for quite some time. They're hitting 10K on a very consistent basis, but their overall goal is to eventually become the CEO. They want to make 100K a month, kind of remove themselves from the coaching aspect, and again, be more of that CEO and make hires. Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Now, the 10K Accelerator program is really going to be broken down into 4 phases. The first thing we really want to do is we want to get you some clients. We can't consider ourselves an actual business without paying clients.
Right.
So we'll do that first. And then once we have some clients that are paying, we'll establish a solid business foundation. We're going to then generate leads organically utilizing AI technology, which I know you're familiar with. And then we'll also develop sales and client retention strategies to help you reach, sustain, and surpass 10K per month. Okay.
Awesome.
Now, on the support side of things, you'll have an assigned one-on-one coach the entire duration of your enrollment. This will be an individual who's completed both 10K and mastery level, so they have a 6 or 7-figure business of their own based off the information in our courses. You'll have a customized game planning call with that individual to really review where you want to be and the most efficient way to get there.
Right.
And every 2 weeks, you'll have Zoom calls very similar to this to review the game plan, make changes, receive feedback, and then get very specific instructions on what you need to execute for the next 2 weeks. This is really cool. And no other program also offers sales coaching. And this is completely an add-on to this. Okay. So totally free. But once you're starting to average about 2 Zoom calls per week, we're going to introduce you to a sales coach who will help you maximize, your return of investment. So we're closing down people at a 40% clip or greater. 5 times a week, we're going to have group support calls that accommodate your current 9 to 5. This will go over like client objection handling, client delivery, mindset issues, lead generation, you name it, we deep dive into it. And then you'll have 24/5 tech support with your coach. So outside of those game planning calls, you can text your coach as much as you like, and they're contractually obligated to answer all of your questions. Now, becoming a fitness entrepreneur again is awesome, but it's overwhelming. We've created the Zenpreneur method. We help with weekly mindset calls, journaling, even meditation sessions to ensure you're in a good headspace to move forward with your business.
Awesome.
As far as the resources go, you're going to have the 10K Accelerator course curriculum. You'll have the Zenpreneur method we just got done discussing, and we'll also give you agency outsourcing options when you're ready to make enhancements to your program. We also offer an optional certification, which you wouldn't need to take because you have several of them, so you're good there. Now, the secret sauce to get you from 0 to 10K, phase 1, act first. What's that mean? We're going to announce to the world who we are, what we're about, and we're going to utilize very specific strategies to get you your first couple clients. Once we have that, we're then going to set up your back-end administration systems. We want to make sure you're a legal business. We also want to figure out what problem we solve for individuals. Based upon that, we can create our offer and pricing. So this first 2 phases will take about the first month to month and a half. The rest of the time will be in phase 3 and phase 4. So phase 3, developing consistency. We're going to utilize AI technology to really help you with marketing. We're also going to teach you how to generate leads with NLCA's community lead generation method, which we utilize WhatsApp for. And then we also create basic sales funnel creations to enhance your sales skills and make it more efficient. Phase 4 is like the fine tuning of everything. We're going to maximize your sales capabilities so you're closing down leads more effectively and at 40% or greater. We're also going to really focus on consistent client delivery systems, but emphasize customer support and client retention to keep people happy for long periods of time.
Awesome.
Any questions on that?
No, that's wonderful.
Beautiful. Now, the program itself can be a total of 32 modules. Each module will have an overview link. It'll also be associated with videos. The links in the videos are tutorial style, so they go step by step to show you exactly what to do, okay? So that first step, I mentioned this earlier, we're gonna utilize very specific strategies to get your first couple clients right out the gate, okay? The cool thing is we have resources that are already done for you so we can make our time more efficient. From there, we'll move into the 10K Accelerator Directory. I want you to view this as onboarding material that'll help you become a better student. It really shows you how to maximize the program to its fullest capacity.
Awesome.
From there, we're going to move into the roadmap. It's going to be broken down into 2 phases. What do we need to get from 0 to 5K? That was your initial goal. And then what do we need to get from 5 to 10? Okay. So again, this will be very specific. It'll be associated with videos, 0 guesswork there. The mindset and lifestyle module, based upon where you want to be at the lifestyle that you want to create, we're going to have daily routines scheduled for you. Okay. We're also going to ensure that you're in a good headspace to move forward with your business. All right. So fear of failure, anxiety, imposter syndrome, all normal feelings. How can we move past that? We've also identified the top 10 struggles that fitness entrepreneurs face, but we've also provided solutions to that as well.
Awesome.
From there, this is where things get interesting. The administration systems and ChatGPT. Are you familiar with ChatGPT?
I am.
Yeah, like Google on steroids, right? So
Yep.
you'll have a high-powered virtual assistant. This is really good though for setting up SOPs, even creating like content creation, good for setting up your programming, even your nutrition as well. So we can plug this in and then always change based on what we don't like. Then we'll set up the back end things. So Wave or Stripe to collect payments, DocuSign for client agreements, Typeform and Calendly to book calls. We even have applications that you can utilize where you can load up all of your programming, all of your nutrition into one spot to make it more convenient for your clients.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
From there, we're going to do the same thing for your financial systems. We're going to help set up your LLC, get your employment identification number, when to open up a business bank account, when to pay quarterly taxes, when to pay yourself, examples of business write-offs, health insurance, business liability insurance, you name it, we do it all there for you. Now, the really cool thing about this is previously, if you were to set up your LLC, it takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Well, we're partnered with an AI company called Taylor Brands. This allows it to be done in 2 to 3 hours. So again, more efficient, and we can, focus on the things that are more important for us.
Yeah, sure.
Target setting, we're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. We're going to deep dive into your specific goals. Okay?
Awesome.
From there, we're going to figure out what problem you solve for individuals. Based upon that, we'll create our offer and pricing. It's going to be more do it for you, do it with you, do it yourself. That'll be established upon your length of terms. So we help the structure of your pricing. We also teach you how to create downsells and discounts, and this will be massive for you, especially as a brand new coach. Pricing mindset, right? So making sure you're not negotiating like, oh my God, it's too expensive. Let me drop that price down even lower for you, right? We'll teach you exactly your worth. From there, we're going to move into organic marketing. We're going to show you how to do 1 hour's worth of work and get 14 pieces of content created out of that. Okay, so again, maximizing time, making sure that we're more efficient. We're going to show you also how to set up podcasts and YouTube so we can expand your reach and your message so more people understand who you are and what you're about. And then we'll show you how to market for all things Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok related. So for instance, it's more than just randomly posting. There's very specific strategies involved. So we even would do data analytics as well. So we'll do all things Instagram related. We'll show you how to market for all things Facebook, even all the way down to the hashtag use. And we'll show you how to do everyone's new favorite TikTok. Okay? I don't mess with TikTok. I'm too old. So that's one platform.
I was going to say, I don't have a TikTok either, which is interesting, but.
Yeah. So the cool thing is you don't have to use all 3. You can use 1, you can use 3, you can use 2. So I go based upon where my ideal client hangs out. So as example, I service high level entrepreneurs or bosses 35 to 50. So if you're a man 35 to 50, I hope you're not hanging out on TikTok where we got some problems. Right?
Yeah. Not the ideal target market.
For sure. Then we're going to move into content creation made easy. So we're going to show you how to utilize Canva Pro and Canva Basic. We'll introduce you to Microsoft Designer. We want you to think of your social media as like a storefront. So think about when you're out shopping, you look in the window, something attracts you, it makes you want to go in there. We want that same thing with your social media. This will show you how to really make your page more aesthetically pleasing, more organized, and it's really good for branding as well.
Awesome.
From there, we'll move into the 10K lead generation framework. We believe there's 3 different ways to do so. The first of which is what we call earned media. I want you to think of this as like inbound marketing, people coming specifically to you. Now, if we can set up the WhatsApp group chat, this will filter in more people. So we'll show you how to set that up, why it's going to be beneficial to the people that we're going to be targeting. Then we'll go a step further and we'll show you exactly how to bring more people to you through that process. So cross-pollination, example of this, You might be partnered with another coach. So for instance, their audience sees you, your audience sees them. We establish more followers and our message is being sent further. Free resources. We do call to action strategies. The big one that I love right here, scholarship strategies, will get a ton of people in the door right away. Okay. Now the opposite of that will be conversation to calls. So this will be essentially outbound marketing. So you're reaching out to individuals first. Okay. So we'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you conversation to call examples. So let me go in there for you so you can see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you conversation to call examples, but more importantly, we're going to actually show you where to find all these leads on all three platforms and how to build and nurture these relationships. Now that we have the WhatsApp strategy filtered in, we can now figure out what type of dialogue we want to have once they're in there. And hopefully those people are interacting with some of your clients that are already in your program. So again, it makes them a lot warmer lead as they kind of transition to that game planning call and they understand really who you are. And there's more trust built up, I should say.
Right.
Cool. From there, we have the referral strategy, the easiest way to grow your business. Friends, families, coworkers, talking about how amazing you are. We'll give you resources and strategies to incentivize people to bring you more referrals without actually having to ask for them. Okay. From there, we're going to move into sales overview and fundamentals. So if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be good at sales. You got to learn how to love it. Okay. So we're going to show you how to really maximize your sales capabilities. So we want to set up two types of phone calls. The first is what we call the meet and greet. It's kind of like a screening call. It's a 10 to 15-minute phone call to figure out, do I really want to work with this person? Can I actually solve their problem? So we'll give you real-time examples with our coaches.
Awesome.
This will lead into our closing call. This is where we're trying to lock down the lead. We're trying to turn them into a client. So we're doing a lot of objection handling. We'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you our entire objection handling web. We'll teach you how to create downsells and discounts. This will be huge for you, creating financing options for people who normally couldn't afford it. And then again, really how to lock them in once and for all. Now, once we have them locked in, we want to go back and we want to track it. Okay. We want to make sure there's predictable data. We want to see how many calls were booked, who showed up, who closed. So again, we can have predictable data for the upcoming months. Okay. Now the objection handling web is going to be the excuses that people give to you as to why they can't move forward. We'll give you over 30 different scenarios that you'll see time and time again. The more you can familiarize with this, the easier it is for the closing call to really show them why it's so beneficial to work with you.
Awesome.
From there, we're going to move into the onboarding process, probably the most overlooked area by trainers and coaches. This is people's first 30 days in your program. This can make or break if someone wants to continue with you. So we want to make sure this is like a really special experience. There's no buyer's remorse. We want to make sure there's something tangible in their hands in that first 24 to 48 hours while you're building out their programs. This is where expectations are set. Okay. Client delivery, the fun stuff, week-to-week process and how you deliver services. This is where you'll thrive at because you love helping people. But how can we do it in a more efficient manner? We'll show you how to utilize ChatGPT for resources, structuring your programming, things of that nature, even captions for your content as well. And then also, no matter how good of a trainer you are or a coach, you're going to run into this. Someone's going to ghost you. They're not going to listen. They're going to quit. Why though, right? Usually there's specific reasons behind that.
Right.
Oftentimes they want to be a part of a larger community. They just want to talk trash about your leg days with someone else that you train, right? They want to have a little bit of more interaction. Some of them want more one-on-one touch points. So like additional apps or areas to get a hold of you. Some of them want challenges. Some of them want to be incentivized to do what's already expected of them. Imagine that, right?
Right.
So we'll give you resources and strategies to really get them to be incentivized to execute at a very high level again.
Absolutely.
Cool. From there, we're going to move into customer support, the not so fun side of things, cancellations, refund requests. How do we handle that? How do we mitigate it for the upcoming months? How do we track it? Okay. And then we'll move into, from there, we'll move into client retention. We want to keep people for long periods of time, advance into higher levels of our programming. We'll give you strategies behind that. We'll teach you how to track it. Quick little recap, and then we'll answer any questions you got. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. The program itself is going to be a total of 4 months long. You'll have that customized game planning call with your coach. You'll have that one-on-one coach your entire enrollment period. You'll have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You'll have a sales coach as well. You'll have the Facebook community and CEO trainings. 5 times a week of group support calls that accommodate your 9 to 5. You'll have 24/5 tech support, and you'll have the business course curriculum. Is there anything you feel like we're missing?
No, that sounds very great. Awesome.
Awesome. I'm loving it. Did you get a chance to check out any testimonials?
I did. I checked out a couple of them. They all looked, I mean, they all said great things. So
beautiful. I'm going to kind of fast forward to the client average, because a lot of people, like you said, will show off their top people. We're very transparent. We like to show you what the basic person's doing. Okay. So 73% of our students sign their first client in month one. On average, it takes them just 1 week to do so. So pretty cool statistic. The individuals who get their first client in month one, by the end of month 4, are averaging over 8K per month. Now, the individuals that don't sign their first client in month 1, but by the end of month 4 are averaging 6,500. So just to be a basic, mediocre, right in the middle of the line person, you can expect to make 6,500 to 8K, right? So again, we're still maximizing making more than what we're currently at, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure.
Now, this is really cool. This made me think of you. On average, it takes people just 10.6 weeks to quit their job and go full-time on their online fitness business.
Oh wow.
So think about that, like literally less than 3 months, you could possibly be in the position to where you're doing something that fully gives you 100% satisfaction, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, the students who stay with us 12 months or longer stay with us 12 months or longer have 97 clients on the roster on average. The individuals that have 97 clients are averaging 366,000 a year. Huge.
That's crazy.
Now, once you have 97 clients, obviously you're going to have, some higher, right?
You're gonna have your work. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you're a one-woman show initially, you can expect to handle anywhere between 30 to 60 clients on your own.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't plan on doing 90 clients by myself. I don't know if I could do that even with the most experience ever.
Well, the cool thing is once we're averaging 10K a month on a regular basis and you start seeing like really where you want to take this, how big you want to scale it, that's when we'll start talking about ascension into mastery level. That's where we talk about hiring a DMer. So they're doing all your DMing for you.
Right.
Running ads will be a game changer as well. So we'll get a lot more warmer leads. And then basically teaching you how to lead leaders so you can step away from the day-to-day activities. Cool?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right. So what are we thinking? Do we love it? Do we like it? Do we hate it? What do you think so far?
Yeah, I love it. I'm willing to invest in that. So
beautiful. Now, did you get a chance to hear about the 3 times your investment guarantee?
I did not.
What? Oh man, just more surprises for you.
I know. Yay.
So a lot of companies will have like, a money back guarantee if you don't hit a specific point, right?
Right.
We have that too, but we have 3 times your investment. So we're guaranteeing you'll make a specific amount or you get your money back. Now, in order to do so, you'd have to attend your game planning call, pretty standard, right? You'd have to attend all of your one-on-one coaching calls with your coach. That's 2 per month, 1 group support call each week. Okay. Charge at least the bare minimum of $250 per month for services. Okay. Mm-hmm. Run a scholarship strategy within the first 90 days. Mm-hmm. No late payments. If you do that and show up and just utilize the resources, we're guaranteeing you'll 3 times what you invest in, or you get 100% refund back. Now, year to date, we've helped over 3,000 students. We've only had to return 1.6%.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I believe it. The statistics check out. You guys definitely, you're very diligent about like testimonies and ensuring that those statistics like are accurate. So I'm sold. So
love it. Cool. So that's the next thing we're going to be talking about, the investment portion, right? So what's this thing going to cost us? There'll be a payment plan and then there'll be a paid in full option. So payment plan, we put down a down payment, we spread the rest out over the 4 months. Right. Paid full just means, hey, we pay the whole thing up front, we save a significant amount of money. Now, no matter where you're at currently financially, if this is something that you feel is 100% in alignment with where you want to be at, I have extended payment plans, we have financing options, I can find something for you. Cool? Yeah. All right. So before we dive in, I kind of want you to recap again why this is so important, what this is going to give you as an individual.
Absolutely. See, I was broadly familiar about like the services you all offered, and I mean the materials that are provided and the services that are offered and just kind of the help that it looks like you guys provide, and like how much assistance you guys have helped so many other aspiring coaches. It's just something that like I feel is essential within a limited knowledge that I have now in building my company. And there's so many resources that are available that you guys provide. And I know that this is just something that I'm super passionate about. And I know it's not something that I'm gonna ever give up on, like regardless of if I were to do this plan or not, I would still try my hardest, but I know that this is me trying my hardest because you guys offer things that I might not necessarily know or have access to. just without something that's more structured like the Next Level Coaching Academy. So it looks like something that aligns with, my goals. And it's definitely something that I think is a good investment for where I want to be at in my career in the future. So.
Beautiful. All right, let's talk about this. Let's just talk about the elephant in the room. How much is this thing going to cost us, right?
Yeah, no.
All right, here we go. Hold your breath. It's only $100,000 in your left kidney. I'm just playing.
Awesome.
No, there's a payment plan of $7,000, and then there's a paid in full option of $6,200 that saves you $800. Out of those two, which do you think works best for you?
Oh, sorry. I'll probably do payment plan.
Yeah, that's what 95% of students do.
Okay, cool.
So let's talk about that. I'll show you kind of how it breaks down. We'll move like from backwards to forwards, if that makes sense. Okay, so what we're going to do is the average student will put down roughly around $2,300. Okay, that gives you a remaining amount of $4,700. You divide that $4,700 over 4 months. Your monthly payment is just over $1,100 per month, which is equivalent to you needing about 3 to 5 clients, depending what you're charging. Okay, pretty reasonable, right?
Yeah,
is that something you feel? Is that something you feel comfortable with?
Yeah, for sure. This is, I mean, as far as it comes to paying it off, it's something that I think it's important that I tell you. I have a trust account currently open, and it has a decent amount of money in it. Obviously, I'm trying to save that money, but I am also utilizing that money to build this business. And then, I make the money, I kind of pay that off, if that makes sense. But I have it available. Yeah, exactly. And I have it available. And I do use that money with the intent to return all of it or more, if that makes sense.
The beautiful thing about, go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, I'm done.
No, go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
Oh, okay. What I was saying is I could pay it in full, but just, I think if the money is going to be returned either soon in the future or like further in the future, it's just something that, I'm willing to pay like a little bit extra, just to kind of take a little bit of the burden, like, wow, that's a lot of money. I know that a lot of people.
That makes sense. So what I could do though, I think you're going to be a great student. I like that you've already invested with yourself with multiple certifications. You're in the medical field. You have a great optimistic approach on where you want to go. And you've already told yourself, and you've also conveyed to me that you're ready to actually start living. And it sounds like you're no longer willing to settle for anything less. Absolutely. So I would do a one-off for you, which means I would take that paid in full and actually split it into a payment plan for you, if that helps out. So what we could do is we put half down, so $3,100 down today. And then I'd give you 60 days to pay off the second half, which gives you a ton of time to get more clients. And again, it gives you more confidence. And hopefully we're generating a lot more money. You can start throwing that back into your trust fund.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's something I could do. I would have to, I'd have to get the specific card that's linked to the trust. I know that sounds confusing, but I would just have to go grab that, but that's about it.
Yeah. So if you feel like this is 100% exactly what you want to do, and I can save you $800, I'm all about it, because I know you're going to crush it. Okay. Yeah. So if you want, while you're grabbing that card, I can go ahead and start getting things set up. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, go ahead and grab that, and then I will go set up the payment systems.
Okay, cool. Just give me 1 second.
Yep, you got it. No problem.